one of the participants in the new returning ROH Pure Championship tournament. I have Kenny King with me right now. How are you doing today?
Good, how's it going?
Not too bad. So, as I mentioned, you're one of 8 participants in the B block. It's a 16-man tournament, and it's going to be kicking off this weekend, but your match will air September 26th. You're going to be facing Josh Woods in the first round. How you feeling going into this tournament for a returning title?
Well, I feel good about it, man. I feel good about this is the first time in probably 12 years in my 19-year wrestling career that I've had 6 months off. So physically, I feel good. I feel even better about facing Josh Woods in the first rounds. I mean, I'm not taking anything away from Josh Woods. He's a fantastic athlete, hell of a skilled martial arts and MMA background, great wrestling background, but the inexperience. Kid is inexperienced. He runs around after Silas Young like he's a lost puppy. And I believe that he's going to I think that he's going to try to come into this tournament with too much to prove. Having too much to prove is going to allow me a few opportunities.
That is a good point to bring up. You haven't been in the ring in almost 6 months. Your last match was March 15th out at Future Stars of Wrestling in Las Vegas. Before that, your last Ring of Honor match was in February. So how, besides getting time to heal up, like how's it, working off ring rust? Did you notice anything coming back, like getting ready for these Baltimore tapings that you didn't expect?
You know what I mean? I don't believe in ring rust. I believe that at this stage in the game, any ring rust is like if I've been in the ring for 5 years. It is just about conditioning, about getting my body used to the physical rigors of actual pro wrestling. And the fact is, I only gave myself about 3 weeks. I didn't take too much time off completely. So I've been, my training regimen. It keeps me pretty much always. They say if you stay ready, you never have to get ready.
When you first debuted with Ring of Honor, the Pure Championship had been retired for a little more than a year at that point. So being that, you've almost seen it all, done it all in Ring of Honor, what's the feeling going in that you're getting a shot, getting a second chance at a title that, the fans really wanted to bring back? It had this, I don't want to say like groundswell or like grassroots campaign or anything, but a lot of people wanted to see some original things come back. So is this like a full circle moment, or is this just another new opportunity that you never thought you'd maybe get?
Well, I think it boils down like this, right? The fans wanted it because as much as Ring of Honor is, the style of Ring of Honor is, you could say it's the foundation for the current style of pro wrestling, right? And style initially, the foundation of Ring of Honor was a pure wrestling style. It was something that nobody else was doing. It allowed, people to see really skilled technicians at pro wrestling, not brawling or high flying or, skilled technicians. It allowed people to really see what you can do, what Nigel McGuinness was really capable of, and AJ Styles was really capable of, Bryan Danielson, the names go on and on and on. And I think that's why the fans really took to that style when it first came out. I think that now, because the Ring of Honor style is so well adapted and everybody kind of does it, now the fans are starting to, yearn for something different. And then something different is, going back to those rules, back to those basic grappling skills. And now the other thing is you also have to have enough talented wrestlers to be able to do it. And for the longest period of time, maybe there weren't, 16 guys in a company that could go, that could, have a pure tournament. But Ring of Honor can, and Ring of Honor does. So I think that it's just the perfect time with the roster that we have, the guys that are assembled. I think it's great.
There are a lot of interesting matchups in this first round on both Block A and Block B side, but one that I'm paying attention to, you could be facing him if things go the right way, is PJ Black and Tony Deppen. And Tony is familiar to GCW fans, but maybe not to the Ring of Honor audience. So not to say that you're looking past Josh Woods, but how do you feel, maybe getting a chance to work with somebody that's new to Ring of Honor like Tony Deppen? Or on the other hand, how does it feel maybe getting a shot at PJ Black?
I've been a fan of PJ Black since he was Justin Gabriel. Him and I have been in the ring, I think, one time in a 4-way, and I've been looking forward to getting in a singles match with PJ ever since he came. His style, his martial arts, his high flying, on top of the fact that he's a big, strong guy, I think our styles really complement each other. And I think in the event that happens, I think that's a really good match for not only for us but for the fans. And speaking of Tony Deppen, I wasn't really familiar with Tony Deppen before the Pure tournament, but getting a chance to watch him, and he brings his own unique style. He's very technically proficient. He's very quick. He's very creative in the ring, and I think that fits right in with the exact. The idea of the Pure tournament. How creative can you be? How can you utilize new ways to get guys in compromising positions? So I think Tony Deppen's a good addition, and I wouldn't sleep on him. That doesn't mean I wouldn't wreck him, but I wouldn't sleep on him, and I'd be happy. I'd be excited to see him in the next round.
It goes without saying, so much has changed since March, and between COVID and quarantine and different social movements. And you haven't spent much time in the ring per se, but Ring of Honor's really done a good job of keeping talent busy. One of the things that you got to participate in was the ROH Roundtable. You had you on a panel, Ian Riccaboni hosted it. So now that you're getting back to the in-ring action, is there a way that you personally or Ring of Honor can really create more opportunities like the roundtable and, continue to spread that message in a positive way where it's maybe not a studio show, but just something to keep attention on those social issues that really need to stay in the forefront?
Yeah, man, that's a great question. And I give, anytime I do an interview, I give Ring of Honor so much credit for being they were the catalyst for that, right? They were the ones that asked us, hey, would you guys like to do something? Would you like to say something in this moment? And we took the ball and I think we ran with it. And I think that everybody was very pleased with with the roundtable. And I think that that's just something that not only us as talent, I think the ROH office is very motivated to continue to keep doing, especially as we get back into interactions with fans and things like that. It wasn't a corporate, okay, this is the moment, let's seize the moment message. This is something that we live. This is something that we don't get to. I don't get to put put Kenny King's skin away outside of the ring. So and I think that we have management that understands how important that is to continue to bring these messages forward and continue to just have these bring these issues to the forefront, man. And the more we talk about them, and the less taboo and the less off limits they are, the more comfortable we can be, and the more that we can just start to align and come together. Not only just maybe as a country,
And I think it's worth pointing out that if you look at the people on the panel, like, you're going to see that your comments are genuine. You're not playing a character. These issues are important to you. And I remember this was around the time of Supercard, the G1 Supercard at MSG, and after that. But I spoke with Shane Taylor, and he has a clear vision of who he wants to be, who he is, who he doesn't want to be. He doesn't want to be a stereotypical African-American wrestler that has, other companies have done in the past. So I think when you see someone like him who, has a history of representing himself in the right light, and guys like you and Jay Lethal and Caprice, it's coming from the right place. Do you feel like, not playing a gimmick, so to speak, that's turned up to 11, do you feel like that also helped get the message across, because you don't have to worry about, blending the lines or people saying like, oh, well, this is Kenny, the TV character, versus this is Kenny, the real person?
Yeah, I think that's the goal, right? The goal is for you to separate this Kenny from the Kenny that we see, the character that we see, and for you to separate my motivations and my goals and my hopes and my fears and those things, and for you to realize that those are not much different from yours, you know, and that's why we wanted to have, you know, people ask questions, you know, ask anonymous questions, and we wanted people to really feel as though they were part of the round table, and you know, if you heard something that you've always wanted to ask, and then you heard a response that got you to think a different way, then all of that was the goal, you know. And that's, I feel like us being who we were was a big part of that, because it broke down all the whatever, and then you got to just see, you know, who we are as guys, not who we are as wrestlers or who we are as stars or whatever, just who we are as guys, who we are as men. And when you see, you know, other men's struggles and other men's, you know, things that they deal with, kind of on a flat playing field, I think that becomes more relatable.
One thing I think we've seen, um, at least with the companies that are on TV, is you're starting to see less of that, less of the stereotype stuff, more grounded issues. Like, and I can even point back to a group that you're familiar with, the Beatdown Clan. Now they're the Hurt Business. So, I mean, how do you feel like seeing a group like that? You know, they're a little different, but it's MVP and Bobby Lashley. You guys were paired up, but you know, do you want to do something similar in your own work, or do you feel like it's best left where, you know, your wrestling's not defined? Because when they first joined up, some people were on one side saying, oh, okay, well, it's they're black guys in a stable, it's the nation again. And then some people are like, okay, it's the Beatdown Clan because of who's in it, not what race they are. But do you feel like that can get to a point sooner than later where it's just guys with a common goal instead of their race or gender or anything like that?
I think we are. I think we're in a pivotal moment. I mean, you gotta understand, they did that to us when we first got put together. You know, we were the new nation, and then because we didn't have a name and we were just black dudes with a similar common focus, then they and our they were the internet community cleverly dubbed us MLK because of our initials, right? So there's always going to be some kind of you know, right now, and I feel like it is, and I feel like because the writing doesn't support it, right? It isn't for black dudes being black dudes and being militant. And no, man, it's we are businessmen, or they are, I should say, we're businessmen whose business is to beat your ass. We dress well, we have fine taste, we're educated, we're classy. But when it comes to 9 to 5 hours, our job is to beat your ass, and that is as relatable, a stable, you know what I mean, as pro wrestling has ever created. So as long as that continues, right, and all it really has to continue is the depth. Characters have to continue to create, to have depth. Triple H can be the cerebral assassin. He can be the game. He can be all these different things. And as long as, you know, Bobby Lashley can be the same, then we won't have to just continue to pair Bobby with who's like, or who's black, or who's like, right? So as long as we continue to create characters that have depth and they have different levels, um, then I think we're on the right path. You know, I think we don't have to. I don't think that if you look at I don't know their names, but uh, Andrade's group, right, with Zima Ayan, I can't remember what his new name is. They kind of started off as Spanish-ish dudes, but now they're not. They kind of have they have a deal. They have a common bond. So I think that it's up to the writing, and it's up to people having. I mean, you can say diversity, but just people who have, who are aware of things in the writing room, right? It can't just be people who see, oh, three Spanish guys, we need to put those Spanish guys together, three black dudes. You know, if we can find a reason and find a common bond, and we can make it create depth where people can hang and relate to these characters, then I think we're all right.
Jumping back into things with Ring of Honor, you guys have had a layoff. Um, but I mean, if people want to catch up with you and maybe jump back into the archives. You had a big win, Honor Rumble at MSG. That's a really big career achievement. And, you know, you are one of the potential winners of the Pure Championship. Is there a match that you could point to, whether it's throughout the history of your career or a recent one, that if people are looking to see, like, okay, this is the Kenny King I'm getting in 2020, like, you know, this is the match I would show them, just showing what you're about, what you want to be about now that you're getting this restart with Ring of Honor?
I think that if you want to see what you'll be getting with Kenny King 2020, you can really go back to my series with Jay Lethal. If you want to go back to even the match that we had for the World Championship in Toronto, that which led into that series. I mean, I think that's the next level. That the kid that's able to match the athleticism with the experience and, you know, the physicality. I feel like I am now at the point where I'm just starting to put it all together. 19 years later, but it is that is the level. I think that you can just expect from me here on out.
I'm actually going to be talking with Josh Woods in a little bit here. So do you have any final words for him before this match airs on September 26th?
If I were him, I would lose Silas Young's number. I would call a whole bunch of other. I would call John Kreese. I'd call. I think that Johnny Lawrence is now teaching students. I'd call Hicks and Gracie. I'd call everybody and get him in his corner because he's gonna need it. Call Megatron. Call Inspector Gadget. Call everybody. Let them be there. Have everybody corner him because when I see him in Baltimore, it's on.
All right. Kenny King, you're going to be back in action with Ring of Honor on September 26th. Everybody can start watching the Pure Championship tournament this weekend. We'll have 2 matches on September 12th. Thanks very much for your time.